You're listening to Were You Still Talking? Okay, now that I've messed about for a bit, I'm going to do an intro.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back. This is Joel Albrecht, and I have Rachel Moline in the studio today. We are going to talk about why she sent me no info about herself. So I have nothing for the intro.
Oops.
I know she does some acting, because I've done acting with her. And do you work at the zoo still?
Yes.
Excellent. So you work at the Portland Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do there?
I clean up after the primates, the two-legged primates.
The two-legged primates?
Yeah. No, actually, I go in at like 6 a.m. and clean windows and like the exhibit glass and
Right. Wow.
getting all that stuff ready.
And so do you go on the inside of the cage?
No.
Just the outside?
Only volunteers get to do that. People that get paid
that's
don't.
funny. If you get paid, you're not supposed to go near them.
Yeah, right. I don't know. But yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm. It seems like it would be. The Portland Zoo is pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right now they're under a bunch of construction, so there's like big open spaces with tractors and dump trucks, and that's the kids' favorite part to look at, I think.
Oh, that's funny. It would be, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that stuff when I was a kid.
But
So what are they doing? What are they building?
oh, so the rhino exhibit and the polar bears and like a much bigger place for the primates,
Mm-hmm.
the furry ones. Yeah, they're doing this massive polar bear exhibit. They'll have like a huge pool, and
Oh, so they didn't have that before?
they had a polar bear exhibit, but they are making it bigger.
Oh, I see.
So they had to send the animals away, those ones away for a while.
Uh-huh. Now how they do that? Where do they send them to another zoo or something?
Yeah. I can't remember which ones. I'm not going to quote because I can't remember. But the rhinos went somewhere else. The hippos.
Mm-hmm.
The hippos won't
Wow.
come back because they have a hard time traveling. I think it was the hippos.
Did they ship them FedEx?
Yeah. They'll pack them in little boxes. Give them air holes.
I swear, I worked at a company in California that was right outside LAX, and it was an animal quarantine area. Basically, the company was paid to quarantine animals, mostly horses, mostly crazy expensive horses. But that's how they ship stuff, by FedEx. So they would come on a FedEx jet, and there would be one or two horses, inside with all the other stuff, but separated out. One time there was an elephant. I can't remember what movie they were filming. They were bringing the elephant back from filming the movie. So they actually shipped this elephant to another country to film a movie and then shipped it back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. I have no idea what movie that was, but yeah, elephant on a plane, not a cool thing.
Must have been a special elephant.
I would think so. I mean, it was a trained elephant, I hope. Yeah.
People love the
Yeah.
elephants at the zoo. It's like the biggest deal.
The elephants are amazing.
Yeah.
They're an amazing animal. Yeah. Me and my girlfriend watch. We don't do it as much anymore, but we were watching this show called Safari Live for a long time. And I have a hair on my mic and it's distracting me. Maybe I'm hallucinating. So anyway, there's a show called Safari Live where twice a day it's live on YouTube, and they're just driving around doing a safari in their safari park. So you get to see the animals it's kind of like a zoo, except they're wild.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in any cages. So you see that, like all the nature shows, they film for 2 years and then they show you a bunch of kills. They show you mating and kills. And that's pretty much what a nature show shows you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So on Safari Live, it's like, no, here they are. They're just hanging out. And like right now, it's cub season. So there's this pride of lions with, I think, 8 cubs.
Aww.
Yeah, it's amazing. And all these little cubs just crawling all over the parents. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, we have lions.
Lions are amazing.
Cheetahs.
Amazing.
We have cheetahs too, and I've learned that they can be really grumpy.
Cheetahs?
Cheetahs
Oh, really?
are grumpy, at least in
a zoo.
In a zoo, maybe. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'll go in the morning and clean the glass, and if the cheetahs are out, look at what, well, I know they're going to react this way, but I'll go up to the glass and just like wave at them or something, and they're just like they start hissing.
Oh, really?
They're gonna
lunge.
Just like, don't talk to me in the morning.
Well, that's like an Olympic sprinter who has to stay in the house all the time.
That's exactly what I was thinking, actually.
Oh, really?
Like, they probably have all this pent-up energy.
Right.
And, I mean, their bodies are built for,
Right. They're my favorite animal. They're just amazing animals. I got to pet one once at a wildlife safari when I was pretty young, probably a teenager. And I always thought, oh, that's so cool. And now I hear all this stuff like, no, that's terrible. Like, having wild animals as pets, and so an exhibit where you can pet them is actually not a great thing.
Yeah.
For one, it's extremely dangerous.
Right.
You don't know what they're going to do. They're wild.
Yeah.
But I love elephants. They're amazing, and I guess they're really intelligent. We're wiping them all out.
Yeah. And they actually, they do a lot of cool stuff for them at the zoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that the Portland Zoo has got a really good elephant program.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time with them. You can watch them in their big exhibit. Like, the keepers will hide stuff in, like, logs and things, and they'll go around and find it. And they do exercises with them to keep their bodies in shape because they need really good core muscles.
Oh, they must.
Yeah, I mean, to hold up.
Yeah,
so
they're massive. And they're used to walking a lot. Because elephants just walk all day in the real world, in the wild. Yeah. So it must be hard on them to be in a zoo also. I mean, they're very active.
We get protesters sometimes outside the zoo, like with signs up. And they'll be like, free the elephants. Elephants are suffering.
And I completely understand their point of view. On the other hand, zoos do a lot for conservation. I think protesters forget that sometimes. But I mean, I've heard, I don't know what your experience has been, but I've heard some horror stories about people who've worked at zoos and, really appalling conditions. Zoos and safari parks, especially, the paid safari parks and stuff. So I get their point of view, but I don't think they'd like it if you just said, okay, let the elephants out.
Right.
Here you go.
Well, and
here's an elephant.
Like one of them came from... It was shot by poachers, I think, in her eye, and she got left by her herd.
Okay.
Chandra.
So it's a rescue.
Yeah, and so they bring her in, they do stuff like that, and then they take really good care of them.
Yeah. And they're also doing research. I mean, they're finding out all kinds of things that you can't find out necessarily in the wild. It's a tough thing. Zoos are a hard thing for me to wrap my head around. I mean, I love to go look at animals, but I know that they don't like looking at me. Like, what are you doing? That's the weirdest thing about safaris. Watching Safari Live for so long, you're just basically driving around in a Jeep. There's a safari guide in the front and there's a camera in the back. So you don't see the camera, but they talk back and forth. And the guide is like, if you were on the safari, you would be where the camera is. You just sit in the back of these Jeeps. And these animals are completely wild. So if you're on the safari, they drive right up and park near the lions, like near enough that the lion could get at anybody in the Jeep in about half a second. And the lions are they don't react at all. They're used to the Jeeps, no reaction, no big deal, no danger. The minute someone steps out of the Jeep, now they've become prey. Now they've just changed the whole situation.
Yeah.
And in most cases, the lion will take off because humans are the top of the food chain. So even though we're not the top of the food chain physically, we're still the ones that have killed all the animals off. And I guess animals know that. So in most cases, any animal, if you step out of the Jeep, they're just gone. But if they, decide on the other choice, then too bad. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be burping.
Oh, because you're having a beer.
With the beer.
All right. You're only the second person to have a beer. That's good.
I love beer.
Relaxing.
I had to resist getting one on the train.
Did you? Why?
I don't know.
Why'd you have to resist? You're not driving.
No, that's true. And it's like 9:45 and they're like, we have drinks and alcoholic beverages and...
Wow. Wow. That's pretty interesting. They start early.
I was trying to stay alert and thinking about this whole. Never done a podcast before.
Oh, that was going to be one of my questions for you. Never done. Well, good. I like being people's first podcast.
You do,
yeah.
and if that's right. If I said, oh, I've done 10.
I'll get out of here. Never mind. Find somebody else.
Yeah, this is great.
So, have you ever thought of doing a podcast?
No.
That's something I ask everybody.
I mean,
have you ever listened to a podcast before I said I was doing it? Oh, there it is.
Yes. You find the hair?
I think so. It's the only problem with these guard things, these fuzzy things that go on the end of mics. These are to keep the peas from popping too badly.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So they collect hair, and I have hairy creatures in the house. Stupid hairy things. You
get like a hair in your food.
Yeah,
like
it's like that.
Half swallow it, and then you have to like.
Oh yeah, I hate that. It doesn't happen very often. I wonder. That's interesting.
When I was a kid, my mom used to make oatmeal.
Mm-hmm.
And one time we were sitting down to dinner eating oatmeal, and I like bit down on something, and I pulled it out, and it was like a half moon, like a fingernail.
Oh, from the cat. Yeah.
From the cat? No.
It was a fingernail.
I reached up and was like, what is this? No. And my mom she just looks at her hand and she goes, oh, that's the fingernail.
Were they the glue-on kind?
No, it was her nails. They always got really long.
Oh.
I mean, she had really good nails.
Oh, my gosh.
And so it broke right off because she's old-fashioned. She didn't eat it with her hands. And
did you sue her?
I thought about it. No. But it's a good story now.
It is. It's a good story. That's true. Yeah. That's what you got to think of when you break your arm.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a good story someday.
Never done that.
You've never broken your arm?
Never broken a bone.
Really?
Ever.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. So I have to ask, though, why did you Why did you take the train?
So it's just nice not to have to drive. That's the main reason. I'm just
making sure there's nothing wrong with your motorcycle.
No. Okay. The last time I rode it down here for an episode shoot, it was me and my motorcycle are having issues. Like I don't
really?
I rode it down but I think it's because I was running a little bit late and I still took the back roads. So I was like kind of in a hurry, but I was also trying to enjoy it and doing all the curves and stuff, but I was nervous the whole time and like yeah, I need to now that I'm in the city, I don't ride it as much because I like take the bus or ride my bike.
Right.
And
it's actually and it's not as good to ride a motorcycle in the city.
Not as fun.
It's not as fun, and it's insane. It's insane anywhere you ride it, but people aren't looking for motorcycles. I mean, I know myself. Right. I don't see them, especially when they're on a Ninja and they come up at 80 miles an hour.
Oh, well, I haven't done that.
Okay.
Too scared. Honestly, being vulnerable makes me nervous. Like, I love it, but it just...
I mean, it definitely should make you nervous. But
and
it's hard because if you're too nervous, then that messes up your riding. Tough one.
It's also supposed to rain on Sunday. Well, I'm trying to go back Saturday night, but...
okay. So you wanted to avoid the rain because I was thinking it's such a gorgeous day. I was shocked that you took the train. I mean, it's great. It's great that you took public transport. I'm all for it.
When I rode back,
just surprised.
A couple weekends ago, I got caught in the downpour on the way back to Portland.
Oh,
no. A good 3-hour ride in the rain.
Oh God! And did you just have your leather jacket?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have.
I had to stop at a Fred Meyer and buy these cheap rain pants.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get soaked. You can just get soaked to the bone on a bike. Even if you've got good rain gear, you can get soaked to the bone. Yeah, I have another friend who's a motorcycle rider. He's been on the podcast. Hey, John.
Oh,
and
hi.
He rode back. He rode back to Ashland. Actually, it was Jacksonville when he first got his bike, and it was pouring the whole time. Just totally got drenched.
Yeah.
I think it was going back, or was it coming here, or was it both? I don't know. I'll ask him next time.
It's a good experience to have, to break your bike in the rain, because you really get to know how it. Well, on I-5 you're just going straight the whole time, but
But still,
You're like,
it's different.
I'm going 70 miles an hour
Right.
in the rain. Just because it's like, I got to get there.
Uh-huh.
It was intense.
I bet it was.
But good.
Yeah.
It helped me appreciate it anyway.
That's good. So that's your main mode of transport.
Yeah. Lately, it's been riding my bike.
Oh, that's good.
I got a single speed. I'm a true hipster now.
Do you mean to say a cruiser?
No, actually.
No.
No, it's
It's just a 1-speed.
like road bike style.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 1 speed, and
Wow.
gonna get really fit.
I have. I think my bike's 21 speed,
Uh-huh.
and I use 2. It's a, what do they call them? A hybrid, not a mountain bike, not a street bike.
Yeah.
And 15 speeds. I use 2.
Oh, you use 2 speeds.
I use 2 speeds. I go through the gears whenever I oil the chain. Then I'll go out, go through all the gears, try and get the oil on all the sprockets I never use. But very rarely do I do major hills. So most of the time, 2 speeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd get it. I totally see why a 1 speed would work.
It's really, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Just don't think about it.
Then
and
takes that away from your mind, and they're going to have to change speeds.
you have to pedal, because it's just on one big ring.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go faster a little bit. So
so you get the momentum up.
Yeah, well, and you just can't help it. If you're gonna pedal, it's always gonna take you faster because other people might be riding in a lower gear. So there's smaller rotations, I guess. So they're not going as fast. So you're passing all these people.
Fun,
like a badass.
Well, and now I've seen that bikes have the internal derailleurs, and I don't get that. Have you seen that? Yeah, the hub is all inside. You don't see the gears at all. It's like, wow.
I'm not really sure how that works.
Me neither.
Lots of electric bikes.
No idea. Lots of electric bikes. Yeah, I'm not sure about those. Those worry me because people jump on them, and I don't think they think about any kind of safety at all. And a lot of those electric bikes, it's like a motorcycle. I mean, they're going 30 miles an hour. So that's a different vehicle than a bicycle. It's crazy enough when people ride bicycles. I love riding a bicycle, but I do crazy things. I know everyone does. But yeah, I see a lot of electric bikes, they're going down the bike lane, but they're going the speed of a car. So I don't know. Makes me nervous. But then, if that's your only way you're commuting, it's really good. It's really nice to be able to go further.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize you could now put that on any bike. Did you know that?
Oh, what, electric?
Yeah, they can retrofit bikes. Mm-hmm. So they're retrofitting bikes now and just putting electric doohickeys on them. I don't know what they're called, but yeah. Of course, I want an electric car.
Oh, yeah.
I can't afford one, but I want an electric car.
Oh, not hybrid? You have a
I have
Prius
a hybrid.
there,
I have a
right?
Prius. That's over 10 years old now. Gosh, it's 12 years old.
So you're one of the first people?
No,
when did
mine
they
is
come out
the
with a
third
Prius?
generation. Is that right? Second generation. They came out with the Prius in 2004, I think. They came out with it before that in Japan, where they make them. So they used them in Japan to see if they would work, and then when they got it up to speed, they released it in America, and I think it was around 2004. But they looked like they weren't a hatchback; they were more like a Corolla, and they were smaller. And those started to sell, but then when they came out with my model, they obviously went gangbusters. They're everywhere, and now they're being replaced by the car that I would like to get, the Tesla. Mm-hmm. I see lots of Teslas around, but that's a big jump in price. Big jump. Even for the cheap one, I'm using air quotes for all those on the podcast who can't see me. Yeah. So you react in I don't know what to call it, a YouTube series together. A YouTube series. Have you done a lot of acting before that?
Not film. I actually haven't done a lot of theater either. I did a lot. Well, I did it growing up. My mom always put me in theater.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was homeschooled.
Uh-huh.
So she would get me involved in church plays and stuff.
Oh,
We
okay.
did this big Easter production. I think I was in for 3 years.
For 3 years straight?
Or 3 separate.
Separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, 3 every
different
Easter.
times. Yeah.
3 years. That was the start.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always loved it, but then I went away from that. Well, I didn't go away from it on purpose, but you grow up and do other things. And try to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go back for a long time. I always wanted to act, but I kind of was like, oh, that's not it's not a reality.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of go on. I got married and then went to school for a little bit. Then I was unmarried. And then
you're unmarried?
Yeah.
I see.
Got married, got divorced, started going back to school here and there. Thought I wanted to study biology, which I've always been interested in that, animals and wildlife.
Oh, yeah.
But
you changed your mind.
Well, I was taking I was taking classes at Lane Community College, and I was taking biology classes, and almost 2 years in, I started taking an acting class just to try new things, and I was like,
oh, cool.
I love this.
Oh, right on.
With Brian.
Yeah. With Brian, who I kept mispronouncing his last name. Heimbach. Hey, Brian, you'll never listen to this.
I listen to your podcast. I'm looking at the mic. I don't know why.
Yeah. That's where he is. He's in the mic. It's still there. Everyone has ever been on the
Brian. No, it was great.
That's great.
He was a great teacher.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've heard. Yeah. Heard that from others. It's great that we have that program. That's been a good program for a long, long time out of Lane. Yeah. So that's nice. So then you're moving to Hollywood?
Oh, yeah, maybe in a couple of years. I don't know.
Okay. You posted that picture of Hollywood, here I come, and I thought, is she really? Are you really going?
It's become more of a reality in my brain, I guess, lately. Just thinking, it's been a progression of, I just need to get the job, have a career, whatever, earlier on, to trying to break away from that. And then still never really, I moved to Eugene, and that was a big deal when I moved from Colorado Springs. I'd been there 17 years.
Oh, Colorado Springs. Okay.
I moved to Eugene, and that was breaking out of my shell. Mm-hmm. And then moving to Portland was really cool, but still not thinking beyond that. Okay, I got to move somewhere, and then I got to stay there. And lately, I've just been.
Don't think that.
Thinking more
don't think
of
that way.
I know
you're way too young to think that. Of course, I've never. See, I'm the opposite. I moved here to take care of parents and stuff, and had no idea I'd be here as long as I've been. And I'm just so ready to do something else, because I I'm that type of person. I've never liked the whole settle down thing. I've never been good at that. And I had dreams of being a rock musician, and that didn't pan out. And so I started acting when I came back to Eugene, just because of things. I've fell into it sort of. So now, and here it's much, much easier, even though it's just as competitive and there's just as many interesting personalities. Anyone can do it. When you go to LA, I highly encourage you to do that, because I think you could get into stuff. But it's a whole different world. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different world. People are, it's their whole life. And in a scary way. It shouldn't be your whole life. It's it's great if you want to do that, but yeah. I don't know. It's hard to explain. LA has got, I lived there 11 years, and, it's got some really bad qualities, and it's got some amazing qualities. You'll never find, Portland is an interesting city, and I wouldn't put it down, but it doesn't have culture the way LA does. It doesn't have people the way LA does. Portland, you're talking 1 million people in the area. LA is 14 million. 14 million in the county. Yeah, it's a big place, and it takes a while to get used to, but you can get used. You do get used to it. It's now you've lived in Portland, you'll see it's not that much different. It's just that getting around is a bit more challenging. a bit more. And where was my thought going? I don't know. Can't remember. Oh, it takes a while to get used to it, but then you get used to it and you do your thing. But yeah, if you ever have thought of doing acting professionally, Portland isn't going to cut it.
Yeah.
Like there's a few people I'm sure that live there that do it professionally. There's a few people that live here that do it professionally. They came from LA, you know, they lived in LA a long time and they have an LA agent. And so if you ever think of a profession, it's LA or New York.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Actors Studio?
No.
Okay.
Need to.
Wow.
I have a lot to learn still.
So the Actors Studio is where a whole bunch of really famous actors went, like De Niro and a bunch of top-rated actors. It teaches method acting, but the cool thing about it is if you live in LA, you can actually go audition there and go there for free. Because their idea is to teach actors. So they want to teach people no matter what, like at any level. Yeah. So that's a pretty cool thing. So you can go there and learn from the best. Even the fact that you can audition is amazing because I always learn a lot just auditioning.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be worth it.
Well, so you're the third person this year that the last couple of years that I've met and known that lived in LA. My housemate, when I moved to Portland last year, I moved in with these two guys, Logan and Jake. And Logan, I found out, has lived in LA. He lived there for 5 years and actually made a living acting.
Wow.
And
that's huge because there's, there's very few people that make a living acting. Even there's a lot of people who work as actors, but don't make a living at it. So that's huge. That's great.
It's cool to know it's possible.
It's cool to know it's possible and find out who his agent is.
Yeah.
Probe him for info. How can I meed your agent?
Yeah. Well, the other one was
that
my
kind of thing.
Acting teacher. Right now I'm taking a film acting class.
Cool.
With Ted Rooney. He lived in LA for 10 years, I guess, doing that. He's acted as side parts, but like on film, speaking parts.
Right.
But he lived there, made a success out of it, and is now in Portland. But just hearing that it's possible is all I need. It's like, and I know I can't, run down there and go, oh, here I am.
Right. That's the old Hollywood story. And it's not impossible. It happens to a couple people, but, there is obviously that's where the work is and that's where all the learning is too. The tough part is that everyone that teaches wants billions of dollars to take their class and stuff, but there are plays that happen there. There is theater there. If you want to do theater as a way to work on your acting, there's tons of opportunities. I wasn't an actor when I was down there because I couldn't take it. I was like, I knew a couple actors and knew how desperate they were. And I thought, nah, I would never, I just don't have the, did not have, I maybe could do it now. I didn't have the, what am I trying to say? I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the confidence. I've learned since getting back into acting, I now have this technique where I act like I have confidence. That's how I'm able to do this podcast. Like I just pretend I'm the best podcaster in the world. Yeah. So of course I can podcast. I just make that up before I walk in the room and it works for me. And I do that at auditions too. But I've learned a lot in the last, I guess it's been 10 years of auditioning now, even though half of my work has been not just come from people know who you are. But when I go to auditions, something I've learned from great actors, great teachers, other directors, is that they're looking for a certain thing. So when you walk in, you have to say, well, they're looking for me.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's true has nothing to do necessarily with your acting ability. Like you can be an absolutely stellar actor, but you're, something, they don't see you in that role for whatever reason. It could have absolutely nothing to do with how good of an actor you are. Or they could be a terrible director and you'll be like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't get that part. But talking to a lot of directors and actors, I realized that it's just as it's harder for them in the audition. They're sitting there watching, well, in LA, they could be sitting there watching 100 people. The tough part there is you might be auditioning for someone who knows nothing about acting. So it's very difficult, but hopefully someone watching the tape, the one that's going to pick who does that part, knows a lot, they know what they're looking for. But in a room, sometimes it's really cold because the people are just there to tape the darn audition. They're casting directors. They're not necessarily into what they're doing. So it can be very difficult. But the other side of it is they need somebody. Like they need somebody for that part. So maybe it's you. You don't know unless you go to a whole bunch of auditions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It helped me a lot.
Wow.
To realize, oh yeah, they're working really hard to find the right person. So you're helping them out. So what I'm trying to say, you're helping them out.
Rather
by
than
walking
you're being
in the door.
Yeah.
I mean, you are being scrutinized, but you got to put that part aside and say, you're also trying to show this director or casting director that, I'm the one. I'm who you've been looking for.
Yeah.
Until I walked in, you had no idea, but now you know. So, yeah, kind of got to go in with that.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
In our class right now, the main point that's being driven home is to not act, like for film specifically.
Right. But you've already got that. I've seen that on Oof.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that you don't spend a lot, you seem to have that technique down where you don't act a lot.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's funny because I act a ton on that particular show.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I am nothing like that guy.
That is interesting. Well, then, see, but still, you're not, like, when I watch you doing that, you're not, like, making all kinds of facial expressions and being, trying to be an emotion. Like, you're
right. I'm not doing, hey, lady! No, it's not.
You're just being, like, you in that role, too. I mean...
That's true. That's what I strive for.
Yeah.
And yeah. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, there are characters that are going to be very different than you, but the idea, that's what method acting comes from, is that method acting is about like really exploring the character and getting deep into it. And if they took heroin, maybe you go take a bunch of heroin. No, that's an extreme example.
Yeah.
But like losing weight for a role is an example. A lot of actors lose a ton of weight. Joaquin Phoenix just got really skinny for the Joker. That's using the method. And so when he walks in, he knows this guy is really thin, and he goes into this character, and you're not going to see him act as much because he's so damn good at it. Like he's being nothing like himself.
Yeah.
But he is entirely involved in that character. So hopefully you don't see a lot of acting. I mean, of course you will because it's over the top, but it's the Joker. So yeah, that's in any character, that's the goal. That's kind of the goal of most. I mean, there's a lot of different methods in acting, but that's the goal overall, especially if you're on film, is to not see you don't want to see the acting. I mean, I think it's true on stage too. It's tough on stage because you got to be so loud. And you can't act like this on stage.
Yeah.
Or your director will kill you.
That was pretty good.
You good? Oh yeah, for film. For film, if you're in that scene, if the camera's right here and the mic's right here. But if they're doing the wide shot, you can't do that. It's hard on the editors. Anyhow, yeah. It's interesting. What I love about film acting is that, because it's funny, you say I'm not doing a lot of expressions and stuff. To me, it feels like I'm doing like all kinds of crazy things. And I think you can see it. On camera, you can see it because it doesn't take anything. You can think something on camera and it comes through. It's
so cool.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It is. It's really cool. I was just watching a This Is Us episode. Have you ever watched that?
No.
Well,
there's been a lot of no's.
it's a show. That's okay. There's a character in it who plays an actor. He's Mr. Studley, and but he's also got addiction problems and all these different things. So his character is an actor, and he's talking about how he's just walking through his role on set, and they show him on set, and he walks up, and the director, M. Night Shyamalan, is playing the director, and he's telling him all the stuff to do. He's telling him all the emotions, and you see the shot, and he walks up, and he's doing all this stuff. It's like he's not doing anything. He's just looking out in space, but you can see the emotion in him, in his eyes, and then they cut, and it's like boom, it's gone.
Yeah,
it's wild. It's interesting.
You as the viewer are making, like, it's speaking to you. And it also might speak to someone else a different way. But like, they're allowing, this is what I'm reading about right now on the train. They're like allowing the viewer to make the story, like, based on everything else that's going around them too. Like, I don't know if I was explaining that very well.
That's interesting because, and of course it's true. And with good, I mean, I see that more in good films.
Yeah.
Like in, I'll just use superhero films as an example.
Yeah, I was just thinking
they're
X-Men.
not letting you think about anything.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're telling you exactly what emotion is happening now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's more clear cut. It's like...
They're not necessarily doing it with the face, like...
No, they're doing it with the music, the camera angle, the lighting, the costumes, the makeup. All this stuff is kind of saying to the viewer, this is what's happening. This is the emotion he's feeling. And not that the actors are all amazing in most superhero films of today. Yeah. I'll say most. But, but if you see a different type of film that's more subtle, then it seems to me the viewer makes a lot more decisions. You have a lot more questions in your mind about what's going on.
Which is effective.
Yeah. Extremely.
That's good. Have you seen Doctor Who?
I haven't seen the latest.
Do you watch Doctor Who?
No. Obviously not, because I said I haven't seen the latest.
Have you seen the other ones?
I've seen a couple. Yeah, I've seen a couple. I think the Doctor that I watched the most is 2 Doctors ago.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah.
I get confused because they switch so often. Isn't it a woman now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's 2 ahead of what I was watching.
Okay.
And wow, it's confusing. Like if you just watch an episode out of context.
Yeah, it can be.
It's what is going on?
That's like the one thing. I'm not crazy about TV or movies, but really crazy about Doctor Who.
Oh, that's interesting.
I love it.
But you're not crazy about TV or movies?
I mean, I don't have particular shows or movies that I'm like...
Oh, okay.
Really...
Do you watch TV or do you go to movies?
Sometimes.
I just asked this because there's a lot of people who are actors who don't watch TV or
and I
go to
think
movies.
and I'm realizing I probably need to. I mean, I need to... No.
Not really. I mean, there's 2 schools of thought.
Schools.
And I find myself way too often looking at other actors and being influenced by them. So that's a big thing to watch out for. You don't necessarily want to be influenced by other actors at all.
Yeah.
Hopefully you will be if they're in a scene with you, because you don't want to ignore them. That's the worst. You want to react to people.
Yeah.
But, being influenced by the way that another actor did something is going to take away from that whole thing of not acting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can, I think.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not very good at quoting actors' names or, movies or all the things like that. So that when it comes to the topic of it, I'm like, I don't know.
And that's nothing wrong with that. Just do a little research before you're in a movie with one of them.
Right.
You know, if you get a part and it has, I don't know, Martin Scorsese directing, you can look up his films. It'd be important. You know who that is?
No.
No? It's nobody. It's Hollywood type.
Okay.
Yeah. He's directed a few films. How about Spielberg?
Yeah. Should have played that off.
You should have nope.
Oh, who's that?
Never heard of him.
He's done some good stuff.
He's done something. Yeah, I can't think of any of the directors' names right now.
Stephen Moffat, but he's a Doctor Who director.
Oh, is he?
Or writer.
Well,
no, he was the writer.
Oh, he was a writer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed on something I was watching. Wow, sorry, there are lots of coughs and burps today, so I hope you all are enjoying this. It's real. It's uncut. First time, first showing.
I'm out of beer.
Lost my train of thought. Oh, you want another beer?
Yes.
If you could rant for 3 minutes, I'll get you a beer.
Really?
Yeah. So go on about sea turtles.
Sea turtles.
Sea turtles. Ready?
Okay, sure.
Okay, go.
Got it. Well, sea turtles live in the sea. And I have a necklace that has a sea turtle on it. I actually don't know much about sea turtles. We don't have any at the zoo. Oh, what a terrible topic. Not that it was a terrible topic. Gee, let's see. How about cats? Oh, I could talk to you about cats. I have 2 cats. They're both black. And they're the cutest things in the world. And their names are Trenzalore and Stormy. Named them after Doctor Who characters. I talked about cats instead of sea turtles.
As long as you filled the time.
Okay.
That's the only real qualification. I like it. Now I'm going to be very curious to see. Very curious to see what you said.
Oh, I didn't say a lot. Gracias para cerveza.
De nada. And I'm out of Spanish.
I'm learning Italian.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, off of Duolingo.
Magnifico.
Yes.
Is that a real word?
Could be. Haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh, okay.
Right now I'm learning how to say I am a woman and you are a man.
They teach you all the same thing no matter what language. We were trying to learn Spanish for like the 5th time because when you're in LA, it really helps to know Spanish. And I had a couple people attempt to teach me Spanish, but it didn't work. So we tried with Duolingo, and I guess we just lost interest. I don't know, but it's good.
If you're committed, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
If you're committed.
It's a repetition to where it makes you go crazy almost. You're like, okay, I know this stuff. So you're like speeding through it all, but it just keeps going over and over.
Now we're thinking of learning French. I can't remember why. I cannot remember why. Oh, probably some TV show we were watching.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. Yeah, I had someone on the podcast who was doing a documentary that they filmed a lot in French. In France.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go back a few. It's the one that's doing the documentary on harpsichords. Bruce Birchmore.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. John is actually filming it.
Okay. So I listened to you and Nick and Brian Heimbach, and then a director. He's an actor, writer, director, did a lot of like stuff about gay movies.
Paul Bright.
Paul Bright.
Yeah, he's actually made quite a few films. He has a film class on some kind of medium. I mean, it's like an online class on how to do film and not break the bank. Yeah, he does films for incredibly cheap, and he's done a lot of them. That
was an interesting one. Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, and he was pretty entertaining.
A lot going on.
Definitely. He always seems to have a lot going on. He's put me in a couple things. Oh, we did. And that's right. We did 2 commercials together. And then the company got mad at us because he offered to make a better script. And the people who owned, as far as I know, the people who owned the company doing the commercial loved it, but the people producing the commercial freaked out because they thought he was trying to take over, which he wasn't. He was just offering, here's what you could do next. So never made another one.
Oh.
But then he did a bunch of PSAs to show what he could do, but it never. So we used the same people, and that's where it got very Hollywood-like. all kinds of weird stuff started popping up for that.
Yeah.
Dumb. But Paul's great. Paul's awesome to work with, and he's all about that. I think he talked about that on his podcast, how he just shows up as himself.
Yeah.
And auditions as himself. And if that's what they want, then he's their guy. If that's not what they want, it's not going to work. It's not going to fit.
Can let go of a lot of insecurity issues that way.
It's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. As long as you're not trying to be a character actor, that's going to work great. And, you don't seem like that type.
Being a character actor, I don't know. I'm like very fresh though. I haven't really done it. I've never done a theater with a speaking part, having to learn a whole bunch of lines and like be. So I'm starting to learn about acting in film. So I haven't really done.
Which, there's a lot of people who have a career in TV and film who have never stepped foot on stage. There was some big famous actor recently I heard, and they said they had never been in a play. And I was kind of blown away because I just thought getting to their level, how did they do that without acting in a play at some point? But there's plenty of them, plenty of people out there who've never done, it's just not their thing. And also, if they get success when they're young and they're making films, plays take a lot of time and pay nothing compared to film.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But then they teach you a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't know, like how to memorize lines.
Yeah.
And how to speak up. And yeah. Plays are fun because you can't, it's live. So when you screw up, you got to fix it on the fly. And, there's no cut. So it's like, it's really nerve wracking, but it teaches you a lot. Yeah. Then you do have to stay in character for a couple hours at least. I mean, I know there's a lot of actors. Not a lot. Some actors stay in character for the whole movie. And I just always thought, oh my God, that's got to be exhausting.
Jim Carrey, there's a name.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know who that is?
Yeah.
What did he do?
I've heard, well, maybe I was reading an article or something talking about how you would, John, I hope I quoted the right person. Someone who, they stay in character the entire time, so they end up being, they're playing an asshole. So, whenever you talk to them, they're just totally, yeah. Yeah.
Well, the Jim Carrey, I don't know if he does that for every movie. Perhaps he does. But he's done that for a couple.
Yeah.
One of which, I can't remember the part. He played a real person, a comedian. I'm totally forgetting the name of the comedian. He was in Taxi and Saturday Night Live and early days. Anyway, he stayed in character the entire time. He wanted all the other people on set to call him by the character name.
Yeah.
Not to say his name. If they called him Jim, they'd be like, no, I haven't heard from him in a while. And, so yeah, that's the extreme, I think. But if you're doing certain things, it might work. I don't know. Sounds exhausting. Sounds really exhausting, especially if you're married, right? Because you go home and you're this other asshole.
I can't imagine.
I know. It seems really strange.
Yeah. Interesting.
So what else is going on?
Let's see. Moving to North Portland, but that's not news. I'm moving all the time.
You move all the time?
Well, since I moved to Oregon.
Oh, since you moved to Oregon.
When I moved to Eugene 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think I moved around town 5 or 6 different times. Really not good at staying in one place.
That happened to me in LA. I moved quite a few times. My girlfriend actually moved more times. But it's just part of being young. You move a lot. Yeah, because things change. That's one of the, LA. You see, it's good you're living in Portland, because if anyone ever tells you, oh, LA's really expensive, you'll get down there and you'll be like, no, it isn't. Same as Portland. What's the big deal? It's close. That's you're living in one of the most expensive cities in America right now.
Oh, I didn't even know that when I moved there.
Really? Yeah. Yep. It's one of the highest for rent and buying.
Okay.
Because there's no houses there. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
They've run out of homes. They have in Eugene too, but there's only so much you can charge.
Yeah.
But I guess rent keeps going up an insane amount every year for people.
Yeah, because I would love to live on my own. I think that's my biggest problem. Like, I'll move in with,
oh, sure,
people, and it's
people.
It's just, well, right now I'm living in a unfinished basement, which is apparently the Portland thing. It's like
unfinished basement.
Yeah, and so it's I've got like draperies up on the section off the room and Christmas lights and making it all
make it nice.
It's still in a basement on a concrete floor. Put some rugs down.
Yeah, you gotta put a lot of rugs down. It gets cold.
And you have to go upstairs to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And
whoops.
It's like, I just want to feel like an adult. So I'm renting a room from, maybe I could have done this if I was in college.
Right.
But anyway, I'm moving to I'm going to rent a room from a friend up in St. John's area, which is up north.
Where's that? St. John's.
North.
Not familiar.
It's very north. It's like, it's right next to the river. Mm-hmm. If you were to follow the map, it kind of curves. The river curves around this way, and then there's St. John's Bridge, and it's near Forest Park, which is on the west side of the river.
I think I know where that is. I actually think there's an airport right across the river from you, a small airport.
Yeah.
Probably don't even know it's there.
No.
Yeah, I think it's kind of industrial out there. Yeah.
Yeah, like Swan Island is industrial area.
Right.
It's
I know where
there.
that. I kind of know where that is. Yeah.
It'll be a 10-mile ride to work.
Oh man. Whoa. Yeah, I can see why you might want an electric bicycle.
No, I don't.
Or motorcycle. Yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah?
You're
looking forward to
that'll
it?
be fine.
Oh, cool.
I mean,
that's good.
Just a little bit extra time in the morning. I already get up. So when I work at the zoo at 6, I have to I usually get up about 4 o'clock or 4:15.
Well, and actually, in Portland, you're still early enough. But if you had to go any later, you'd probably be faster on the bike.
Yeah.
Than in a car.
Getting home. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's funny because some mornings I'll sleep in or I'll contemplate biking and I'm just going to drive. And I'll check Google Maps to see what the time is. They'll tell you what the estimated time is.
Right.
And it might say like 20 minutes. And I'll go, great. 20 minutes later, I'll be ready to go and I'll get on there and it'll say 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, crap. And then I'm late.
That's one tough thing about LA is that it's hard to ride a bike anywhere. It's hard to be. After I got my second car stolen, I thought I'll just ride my bike to work because I lived in Hollywood and I worked in Hollywood, and that's rare. I think that's the only time that I lived in the same city I worked in. So I'll just ride my bike to work. It's right down the street. And man, after doing that for a few months, that was like there was no allowance for bikes there. There probably is more now. I'm guessing that there's been a little bit more thought put towards bicyclists. But at that time, and I mean, mostly it's the drivers. People don't even start to look out for you. I mean, people don't look out for you anywhere because you can't see a bike. And that's what bikers don't seem to realize. Cars can't see them. They're not just being assholes. They can't see them because it's a very small object moving around and you're looking for cars. So anyway, in LA, they don't look. They don't. They don't care. And, like on here where it says 30 miles an hour, people generally go 30, 35. No, in LA, if it says 30, you're going 45 because you're trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nobody driving 30 miles an hour anywhere. So you have to be on your toes to bicycle.
You
Just got to be on your toes. I mean, it's doable, but it's different.
I was in London last year and just touring the city, and I was really surprised at how many cyclists there are in London.
Mm-hmm.
And all in the traffic, and like they don't have bike lanes. They're just
there. Yeah.
like
it's probably more that way now in LA. There's probably a lot more bicyclists. And I mean, it makes sense. But in most, the problem is so many places you go are going to be 3 or 4 cities away from where you are. So you're going to need to get on a freeway to get there. Like, it's just, distances are ridiculous. That's one good thing about Portland. It's still small comparatively for a city. It's still pretty small. But yeah, in LA, you might be going 20 miles to get, to your next whatever. We lived in Mission Hills, which in the middle of the night was 25 minutes from Santa Monica and the airport. And Heidi had a job down near the airport. It would take her an hour and a half every day. Hour and a half each way. But in reality, it was 25 minutes away max. But every day, yeah. So that's hard to get used to, but if you can get your mind around that, and then it gets a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. Because that's the thing. And Portland's getting a lot worse, but there's still a lot of the day when it's not rush hour. And that's not how it is in LA.
Mm.
Big cities like that. Same. Seattle's probably the same. New York. Yeah. There's no rush hour. There's a slow hour in the middle of the night. Like from about 12:30 to 4 in the morning, then things are open. So, yeah.
Good
Get a job at night.
Public transportation, though?
There is public transportation. I don't know how good it is because I was always just drove my car.
Yeah.
I was always in a hurry, but there's actually a subway in LA now.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's full. So it works. Yeah. It works. It goes not everywhere, but it goes a lot of places. And there are buses, but the buses are full and late all the time. But it's there. It's there.
So people are willing.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all a matter of how much money they want to put into it. Because public transportation is, of course, it all has to be funded. And right now, there's no funding coming from the federal government. So that puts a lot on the states. They're trying to build a bullet train from LA to Portland. They started.
Wow.
You know about that?
No.
Yeah, they're going to build it to San Francisco, and I think it'll take like 2 hours.
Jeez.
LA to San Francisco. Yeah.
It took 2 hours to get here.
Right. So going from here to Portland will be like a 20-minute train ride. Jeez. Yeah, it'll be full if they do it. If they actually get that far, it'll always be full. Because by that time, people just start living in Eugene and working in Portland. If you can get there in 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, you could live anywhere. Well, a lot more places. It took 2 hours to get here on the train? Because that's fast.
9:45 to 12:20.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Well,
I know so many people
hours.
that have took a lot longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought about that, and I was I hope.
Yeah. You did well.
That does not happen.
You hit a good day, especially being a game day.
Oh.
Was it full?
Mm-mm.
No? Stupid people driving their cars with their little flags on them.
Oh. Those gamers.
Those football fans.
Are you a football fan?
Yeah. Well, I watch 2 teams. I watch the Ducks, and I watch an NFL team that I've been a fan of since I was a teenager.
Oh.
And then I'm not very interested otherwise. And yeah, it's pretty wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you think? Watching a bunch of kids run into each other and try and get a concussion.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. And I can't remember who the comedian was, but I think it was Seinfeld.
Oh.
Maybe. Anyway, they were talking about how bizarre it is that we're cheering for people's laundry. It's like they're wearing the color of laundry I like. So I like that team. I don't like the other team's laundry. That's the wrong color. I thought that was pretty hilarious. It's true. We're just cheering for colors. At least the Ducks change their colors every day, which is bizarre. Another way to waste money.
I don't watch football.
Yeah. I didn't think so. Something told me you did. So you don't watch football. You don't watch TV. You don't go to movies.
Sometimes. I actually went and saw Downton Abbey.
Did you really?
In the theater. It's one of these little living room theaters that they do now. That's nice. You can get a nice cozy couch or chair. And...
So, did you watch the show?
A little bit. Like
I'm not even going to ask you for a review because that makes no sense.
I watched the first 2 seasons.
Let me guess, you didn't know what was going on.
Well, sort of.
Sort of, okay.
Up to like...
That's funny.
Well, there was a couple characters in there I didn't recognize, and I had to go back and read the seasons up to then, but...
Right.
It was actually pretty good, though.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I heard another review that wasn't that good, so I'm glad you liked it.
I liked that they really get you with... They know that fans of Downton Abbey are hardcore fans.
Yeah.
And so they really get you with the heart stuff, and like taking you on this story and then giving you the sad stuff and then putting in like a lot of the main characters are the servants, and the people that work in the castle and they give them their glory moment toward the end of the movie, or they do this like big scene or they're...
Right, of course.
It's like, and then you're just like, oh. Yeah, I think they do a good job of making the fans happy anyway. I don't know. Enjoyed it.
Good.
That's the last movie I saw.
I haven't seen a movie in forever. My eyes have been bothering me, so it's hard to watch. I can't imagine going to a movie right now. My eyes are like really weird.
Do you need glasses or?
No, nobody can figure out what it is.
Oh.
So it's just hard to watch stuff. Even I still watch at least an hour of TV a day. But when you are a fan of more than one show, an hour of TV is not very much. Because Heidi and I tape a bunch of different shows. And so now they're just piling up. It's just like, well, we haven't finished watching this one. Oh, but this one started. Yeah. Different things. Mr. Robot, you ever watch that? Didn't think so. I just thought I'd throw out some more names of things you didn't watch.
I mean, who watches that stuff, really?
Everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you could start watching 3D movies, but not have to wear the glasses. You could maybe have something going on with your eyes.
3D movies.
3D, but you don't have to wear the glasses.
That would be, that would drive me crazy. You ever been to a 3D movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Once.
Once. They bugged the hell out of me.
Me too. Actually, I'm constantly taking the glasses off to see it in real time.
Constantly. The only one I saw that worked was, I almost had the name of it. It was a James Cameron movie where they actually filmed it in 3D. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of anything today. Anyway, it was filmed in 3D, so it looked amazing, and you didn't feel like you needed to take the glasses off all the time. And then I went to, I think it was a Pirates of the Caribbean movie that was not filmed in 3D, but they were showing it in 3D. Mm-hmm. So they had done some kind of process to make it 3D, and it was just terrible.
Oh.
It was like, ooh, couldn't stand, ew. That was terrible. Oh, I'm going to make sure we're still going all right. All right. Just making sure my device is still recording, which it is. That's awesome.
Did you ever see Avatar?
That's it. Avatar. Thank you.
Oh.
Avatar is the one 3D movie where I went, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And, they're doing 4 more.
Avatars?
They're doing, yeah.
What?
They're doing 4 more Avatar movies. They already, are making them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Years later.
Because there was talk of a sequel like the minute it came out. The minute it came out and it did so well. Oh, there's going to be another one. But yeah, they're making them now. I don't no idea when they're going to come out. So you liked that one?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
And I watched it again actually like 6 months ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
And really taking in the statement they make.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, about the trees and the environment. And,
right. It's brand new stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, when it came out, I was like, yeah, I don't know. When did it come out?
Oh, God, 2000. I don't know. I don't have the internet or anything.
You don't like to look things up.
I don't like to look things up.
What's the definition of podcast?
Yeah, exactly. All right, that does it. I'm not going to look it up. Yeah,
I don't care
it's funny. I was gonna look that up in case you asked me. I figured someone is gonna ask, and I forgot.
I looked it up, and then I forgot what it said.
Oh,
it was some like non-inspiring.
Oh, something really boring.
Yeah,
that's great. No, I've been busy I'm doing my first audiobook. So I've been busy working on that. Thanks to Paul. Paul Bright mentioned this company that I could do audiobooks for. So I will see if I make a dime doing it. But
what's it about? Oh, you mean you're reading?
Short stories. Yeah, I'm reading it.
You're making one, writing one and reading it?
No, just reading it.
Okay.
Not writing it.
Okay.
Not writing. Not a writer. No, I'm just sitting in front of the mic reading it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Not the reading part, but then I have to go back because you don't actually read the whole book without mistakes. I make mistakes a lot. So the editing takes a while.
So you read it and edit it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the whole everything. Wow. Read it, record it, edit it, send it in. Whew. Yeah.
I would like to do that.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, I'll tell you the name of the company. You have to have a recording set up.
Yeah. Can I borrow yours? Just kidding.
If you pay me.
I'm just going to come and work in here, okay?
Yeah.
So you're doing it for a company?
I'm doing it it's kind of for Amazon. It's a company owned by Amazon, and you just go on there and there's like 400 books that are looking for people. And so you audition for those books. And I also have a profile that I don't know if anyone can see or not. And I put some samples on the profile. But as I do more books, I'll have more samples. And so there'll be more and more stuff that people could listen to if they were looking for someone. So there's like 400 books, but if you got to kind of pick and choose, because most of the books when you're starting out, they just want to pay you a percentage of sales. So if the book only sells 100 books, it's really not worth your time. So I'm hoping this first book I'm doing sells more than 100 books.
Cool.
And the publishing company has been around a long time, and the main writer has done this for a long time. This particular book they're kind of spooky short stories. They're definitely spooky short stories. It's too bad I can't get it done before Halloween, but I don't think I'm going to be that quick. There's a lot of them. It's long. Yeah.
Do you have a costume for Halloween?
I kind of do. I don't know if I'll use it. I got I'll show it to you after the podcast. I got a really cool costume for doing a photo shoot. I was a model last year. Was it last year or this year? I think it was early this year. I can't even remember how. Oh, yeah. In strange circumstances. I was contacted through an acting website that I wasn't part of anymore. Like, I signed up for it years ago, and they said there was someone looking for me. So in order to find out who this was, I thought that's, I'm like, oh, bull, this is fake. This is fake. But the only way to find out was to sign up for the website for a month. So I signed up. Turns out, yes, indeed, there's a photographer in town who was wanting to cast me for a book. So I'm going to be the photos in the book. We'll see what happens.
Whoa.
Yeah. It'll be wild. Be really wild.
So you got a costume from it. Or no, right, you're doing a photo shoot.
So they made a costume for me and they gave it to me for doing the shoot.
Wow.
It's like a 1700 French suit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Man, I can't wait till all that. Like, I feel like I'm just starting in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Getting involved in all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Because the more you do, the more stuff pops up. Yeah. And actually there's, excuse me, I don't know what's filming in Portland now, but at one time, not very long ago, there was 3 series filming up there.
Yeah.
All at the same time. So there is opportunity there. Are you with an agency?
Not yet.
Okay, what's that thing on your Facebook page?
The photo? What?
No, there's some kind of there was some kind of agency that I found on your Facebook page. It said you were with them.
Portland Casting Hub.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe that's
it's just a group site. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
That you can
it's
go
just
on
a group site. Portland Casting. Because there's another one. Huh. Anyway, okay.
Yeah. I mean, they put up a lot of stuff. Really, all I have to do right now is, well, I need to get headshots, but I'm about to make a really drastic hair change.
Again?
Yeah.
Didn't you just make a pretty drastic hair change?
Yeah. But this is for specifically for a movie or a film project.
Oh,
so I'm about to make a really big
Oh.
hair change, and then I'm like, okay, then I can get headshots. Because then what do you do? Like,
It sucks.
Yeah.
It
Really?
sucks because you do want your headshots to look like you.
Yeah.
So every time you change something a lot, I guess, and I think this happens more with women, honestly, because I still look like my headshot from 3.5, 4 years ago, pretty much. But every time you make a major change, you're supposed to get new headshots.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of shocked that people use headshots so much. But every time I audition, almost every time there's an audition, they want headshots. It's still a thing.
Well, for film, they need it, right? Well,
Yeah. Well,
you mean theater auditions?
yeah,
like-
theater is not. It's not as important to them. You're still supposed to bring it when you go to a theater audition. It's still. It makes you look more professional, I guess. But
I
I've
wanna
had a
know
lot
who
of
you are.
people tease me about my headshot at theater auditions. Oh well, I'll keep doing it. Yeah, in film, I mean, it's because there's so many other ways to see a person's picture.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like you
Okay,
can
so the
look
classic.
at so many places and
Yeah.
see a much better picture of them. But the headshot, the $400 headshot is still what people want to see.
You're just looking at the camera and smiling.
It's interesting. If you have a good photographer, he or she will bring out the actor in you. Because you're still acting when you're just looking at a camera. It's the same thing. You still want to show something. If you're just dead-faced, they're not going to think it's very interesting. So, yeah, you still want to get some different looks and different things. And I do understand if you're a producer, director, and you have to look at 100 different people, if you just have their headshots lined up in front of you, then you can thumb right through them. And unfortunately, it's like the dating sites. They're just going to give it a couple seconds and just, nope.
Right.
Oh, this might work. Let me look at the resume. They're going to do that. So it is still important. It's important to have a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my advice, which everyone probably will hate me for if anyone listens to this, get a headshot photographer.
Yeah.
Don't have some buddy of yours do it. Don't have a wedding photographer do it unless they also do headshots.
Right.
Someone who, look at their portfolio and look at their headshots and say, do I want to look like that? Because it's important.
That makes sense.
If it should pop out at you. You should be like, wow, those pictures are amazing. And you can go to casting sites. There's like 3 or 4 agencies in Portland. And you can go to their sites and look at their headshots and just think, okay, which one of these looks good to me? Which one pops?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them you will just be like a sea of people, and then one will go, oh, wow, what did they do there? How did that work? Yeah. Somebody else told me to do that.
Right,
not my idea, but...
Hey, you could have left that out.
It works. Yeah.
It's a good idea. I've got a lady, well, I've been talking to a lady to do headshots with, but we were going to do it like a couple weeks ago, and then I was like, oh, I have to wait.
Oh, you have to wait.
And then...
So what's this film you're doing? No, you can't say. That's okay.
Well, no, it's yeah. Well, you know what it is. This weekend.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you had another a major film project.
But we haven't written the script yet.
MGM Studios.
Oh.
Right, of course. Haven't written the script yet. Have no idea what we're going to do.
No.
It's a total mystery.
I just think I might change my hairstyle for it. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's always fun to change your hair for the project.
It's an excuse.
Or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Should I tell you?
No.
Okay.
It's okay. We'll pretend we don't know. Oh, gosh. That's really funny. This won't be out till after it's over anyway.
Oh, but you can edit anything, huh?
No, I can't.
What?
Yeah, I can. I just like to do these live.
Oh, yeah.
Like me live. So that one day on episode 500, I'll go live to the internet and I'll be all prepared.
Oh.
I'll be ready to go. Because a lot of the stuff I watch, listen to, a lot of the podcasts I listen to, they just are live on the internet. Not a lot, but a few of them.
Oh.
Other ones film and then they put it up. And I kind of like that idea better, that whatever you say is going to be in there. And then they'll edit it down and make a podcast later. But
Ooh.
I like the idea.
So I could throw something in.
So this is live. Not. But it's not.
Yeah. Live, not live.
The last couple I've had to edit because of screw ups. Because of because of this.
What do we talk about next?
Yeah, exactly.
We had like one of those earlier.
It was short. Trust me. That was a short one.
So that happens. It happens in podcasts.
Yes, it happens. Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it happens all the time. And eventually just go, hey, we should wrap it up now. But because we have been talking a while, so actually, I'll wrap it up and we can talk about the film that we're not talking about and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
That was fun.
Good.
Thanks for my first podcast.
First podcast. It was awesome having you. Yeah. So when you get rich and famous.
That's
Isn't life great?
Lore.
Then you'll have to come back and do a podcast. Don't forget about us little people.
Okay.
So thanks for listening in. This has been Joel Albrecht and Rachel Moline.
Bye.
And this has been... Were you still talking? With me. Be good to each other.
Peace.